Zoran Madic has said it before, but this time he insists he means it. This is definitely his last season as coach of Adelaide City. 2 seasons ago, he won the League and Cup double, and a repeat of that would be the ideal way for him to say goodbye. To help him achieve that, Madic has signed Michael Redder, the exciting young midfielder from Parramatta. Redder was just 4 years old when his midfield partner Sergio Melter made his league debut for City back in 1977. Melter starting his 18th NSL season for Adelaide City. No such experience at West Adelaide, but Stan Lazaridis firmly part of the future after achieving Socceroo status in his first NSL season. He'll be pushing to be part of Eddie Thompson's squad against Argentina, as will George Slifkas, recently a member of the senior Socceroo squad in South Korea. The referee today is John Biddis, a local referee from Adelaide. The rain is just starting to come down at Hindmarsh Stadium. West Adelaide will kick off, playing from left to right. And Sakina starts the season for West Adelaide. The start of a new season is always a time of high optimism for players and supporters alike. Both sides here have plenty to build on from their performances last season. West Adelaide ended last season in 5th position, as Brown just having the first shot in anger at the Adelaide City goal. No trouble for Zabika though. Terrific performance last season by West Adelaide in their first season with Raul Blanco, 5th in the minor premiership. They're looking to build on that this season. Here's Brown going through, tackled by Tobin. Taladera looking for Brad Hassel. That's a throw into Adelaide City. Vidmar to Taladera, back to Vidmar. Starting again with Ivanovic at the back. Milan Ivanovic, one of 4 Adelaide City players recently in South Korea. They really do form a major part of the Socceroo backline, Adelaide City. Zabika, Ivanovic, Tobin, Vidmar. Plenty of experience there. Here's one of the younger players, Redder, coming forward, losing out though. Ray Blair. Vidmar in quickly. Paramida's challenging. That'll be a throw into West Adelaide. Tony Vidmar back with Adelaide City after a stint in Belgium last year. I'm sure the supporters were glad to see him back. He played a major part in the finals playoff for Adelaide City last season. Milamidas. Ball goes back though to Baldy. Mr. Baldy again. Good ball down the line for Brown. Just holding up play. Back to Lazaridis. Ball still in play. Now the linesman's flag goes up. It's a throw into Adelaide City. Adelaide City are in a rebuilding frame of mind, really. Zoran Madic has signed Michael Redder, Goran Lozanowski, 2 outstanding young talents in the game in Australia. He's preparing the club for the future in his final year. There was also rumours that John Markowski would be joining the club as well from Preston. That hasn't eventuated yet, though he would be a welcome addition, I'm sure, to the Adelaide City ranks. That's Daniel Sabatino taking the throw. He's 17 years old, come up through the ranks in the Adelaide City system. Making his debut today. It's a big day for him, I'm sure. Lozanowski coming forward. Well tackled though. Here's Cerro. Lazaridis. Down the line to Greg Brown. This is tidy play. conditions are ideal for footballers. I'm sure most of them will agree that a fast pitch with a wet surface is ideal for most styles of play. Not so good for the supporters though. You can see plenty of umbrellas around the ground today. The Hindmarsh pitch has been relayed and redrained after the World Youth Championships back in March of this year. So this is the first game that's really been played on it. Some of the locals here feel that it's just a fraction early to be using the ground again, but the season started and we're underway. The referee has a word to George Slifkas after that challenge. Well, it really looked as though it wasn't really Slifkas' fault. Slifkas side from Heidelberg. He's played 3 games already for West Adelaide, build-up games. And that'll be too far for Jimmy Sakinis. Slifkas, of course, a member of the Barcelona Olympic campaign. He was also rated player of the Australian team in that tournament by a number of people. Came back to Heidelberg, and I'm sure he'll agree he had a disappointing season last year, so he's come to West Adelaide, a fresh challenge. Sakinis held up well. Cerro, good ball inside for Blair. Well cut out by Vidmar though. Back to Zabika. Here's Sabatino, the youngster. Michael Redder. Tobin. Ozanowski to Vidmar. Now that's Brad Hassel. He's the youngster who's on loan for Adelaide City from the White Eagles Club, just 19 years of age. Adelaide City have a shortage of strikers at the moment. Carl Veert is in England apparently trialling with Everton. The news is that he scored 5 goals during the week in a practice match. So still no news really for Adelaide City whether he'll be returning or not. Steve Maxwell recently had an operation on his knee. He's just starting the rebuilding process. Again, Slifkas fouling an Adelaide City player. He's strong in the tackle, there's no doubt about that. It's a good ball into, and there's Hassel. First chance at goal for Adelaide City, and it was a good chance too for the youngster. He shakes his head, he knows that he might have done better with that. It was a good ball in. Hassel got in front of his man but couldn't get over the top of the header. Earlier this season, Adelaide City beat West Adelaide 4-0 in a friendly in Perth. Doesn't have much impact though on today's game when the competition starts finally. Players really enjoy getting into the nitty-gritty of the season. Slifkas going forward and is brought down by Sabatino, but no free kick given there. The signal from the referee, John Bettis, is that he took a dive. We'll take another look here. He did well just to touch it past there. And in hindsight, we see that Sabatino didn't actually touch Slifkas at all. Murray looking for Hassel. Hassel using his body, causing a free kick. He's a big lad, Brad Hassel, just 19 years of age. It looks like he's got some power. Midas into Sakinis. Let it go for Brown though. Ray Blair takes over. That was so unlucky. He's still going, Blair. Plenty of men forward now for West Adelaide. Lazaridis tries on. Plenty of power. Bending back slightly though when he hit it, Stan Lazaridis. He loves to get forward and have a crack. They backed off him a bit there, and you can see that Lazaridis was leaning back when he struck that shot. Robbie Hooker. Ray Blair coming in from the wing. Hooker now will look for long ball to Brown. Not a lot he could do with that, though. Topeka lets it run. West Adelaide have never won the League Cup competition, sometimes known as the NSL Cup. Once made the final back in 1981. It's Raul Blanco. He will be an integral part of the Socceroo campaign against Argentina, no doubt. Went to Buenos Aires with Eddie Thompson to watch the match against Colombia. Sabatino complaining that he was fouled then. He's in some pain, though he's back on his feet. And yet Murray just holding it up to Baldy behind him. He's got the turn on him, though. It was a good challenge by Lazaridis. Murray backing into Baldy. He's got past him too. Damien Murray with the shot! And a ripper of a shot it was too, and he holds his head because he knows how close that was. Murray got away from Tibaldi well there, using his body, cracked it with his left foot. Brzezincic just knocking it past. The offside flag went up before that though, so it wouldn't have counted had it gone in, but it was a great effort from Damien Murray. He really does have a terrific eye for goal. Curtin starting things off. He's got Mills outside him. Keramidas is in the wide on the right back position. Still in some space. Not a lot of movement off the ball for him though. Sekenas finally. And a good layoff too to Mills. Too tight there. Too many black and white shirts. And that's a lovely ball inside from Milan Ivanovic. It's just one little pass like that that can make the difference between a team building up from the back and a team having to go backwards. And that's set Adelaide City away on the right-hand side now with Redder. Still Michael Redder. Ozanowski takes over. Murray's on the far on the left, and that's who he was looking for. Keramidas. And well played, Vidmar. This is danger now for West Adelaide because Tony Vidmar's bearing in on the goal. Pulls it back. Somehow West Adelaide kept the ball out there. Vidmar is well capable of scoring himself from that angle. Pulled it back though. It was a combination of the goalkeeper and a defender. Just put that ball away for a corner. Lazaridis will clear. Not very well though, because it's another corner. Apologises to the defender. Brzezincic organising. Ball in, well away by Hooker. Shot, and not a bad effort either from Vidmar. Certainly as far as the technique used, he struck the ball beautifully, just couldn't quite get over it. Hooker cleared the ball away. Vidmar must have been all of 30 yards out, trying to dip the ball. No danger though for Brzezincic. A lot of options down the line for Lazaridis. Sekenas was working his way over there. It's a sort of position that I think Raul Blanco will want him to reach a little bit earlier. Melter going forward. And that's a push in the back. Experience showing from Sergio Melter there. He didn't have a lot of options on for the ball, so he just really covered it. And that was enough for Robbie Hooker to infringe. Ladera has to go back. Oh, Risky there from Ivanovic, and Sekenis has pinched it. That's a good ball to Brown, and Ray Blair is through on the right-hand side. Zabika's out, and out magnificently too. Ray Blair's first touch letting him down. It's still not away for Adelaide City. Now Ivanovic clears his lines. They're pushing out too to catch them offside. Lazaridis with the shot now, straight at Zabika. The best moment of the game though so far fallen to West Adelaide. It was Ivanovic's mistake. The speed of Sekenis, which pinched the ball from him, that set that move up. Sabatino. Lozanowski going short. Redder in some space in the centre. Murray flicked on. Lozanowski coming through. Coming through too strongly according to the referee, and it's a free kick. Here's that last moment. Ray Blair found himself through. His first touch, though, was just too far. And Zabika took advantage of that because he was right on the edge of his box very early. Very experienced player now, Robbie Zabika. Came over from Perth a number of years ago. Now he's played over 160 games in the NSL. Showed his experience then. Karamidas is outnumbered 2-1 here, and numbers is 1. And it'll be interesting to see what the referee awards there, and he's awarded a free kick to West Adelaide. Handball against Melter. And Melter can feel that he was pushed well and truly in the back before he handled then. Oh, they've all missed it, and Ray Blair has taken it up. And Lazaridis is wide on the left. Brown's on the far post. Lazaridis takes his man on. Pulls the ball back. There's Greg Brown. What can he do here? Ray Blair! Away by Adelaide City. Brown slipping, and Karamidas puts it back in there. Not a lot of options, though, for Blair to do anything with it. And this is more promising now for West Adelaide. Good ball inside there, and a header and a save. Straight at Zabika. Terrific cross though from Brown to create that chance for Cerro. Cut back in on the left. There's Cerro in space. No marking there. And straight at Zabika, who held at the second attempt. We'll see a different angle here now. It's Cerro just with the finest of touches. Zabika anticipating brilliantly. Now Murray with a chance to cross. It's a good ball into Blair, defending this time. Certainly covers some ground, Ray Blair. And that's looking interesting now because the referee would like a strong word with Ray Blair. He's reached into his pocket, and that's a yellow card, second of the game. Melter in possession there, got the ball away, and studs were showing from Ray Blair then, and it was a good decision from the referee because the challenge was late. Melter still receiving some treatment. Free kick now for Adelaide City. Tony Vidmar on the ball. Hassel's in there for Adelaide. That's who he was aiming at, but it went past him to Murray. Blair and Melter again. Certainly the two old heads in either side. Brown couldn't see it coming, hit the back of his head, though he's managed to pick up the ball. Couldn't keep it in though. Smiling to himself, because he almost got away with it there, controlling it on the back of his neck. This time West Adelaide have the throw. Greg Brown certainly has one of the best strike rates in Australian football at the moment. He's played 94 games in the NSL. He scored 42 goals, which is almost one every 2 games. Now he trots back into the centre where he's at his most dangerous. Throw for West Adelaide. That's Aridis. Couldn't keep possession. Confusing play there, but now Slivkas in space and Ray Blair almost through. Well, Ray Blair's involved at both ends of the field constantly. The amount of ground that he covers is really quite amazing. Helps out in defence, gets forward to have a shot at goal, as well as doing his work in midfield. Here he is again. Good ball to Cerro. Well won by Cerro, and there's players forward here for West Adelaide. Just the final pass was lacking from Brown. Cerro was going forward. Hindmarsh will clear. Best period of the game now for West Adelaide. They've caused some problems in the Adelaide City defence after a nervy start for them. Brown flicked on. No need Sakenis in there. Almost made something there when it wasn't really his ball to win. All leading it away. Slivkas now, well played, flicked inside. Jimmy Sakenis. Good ball in, Brown's in there. And he's in there too strongly because he's fouled Alex Tobin. I think Tobin really had the best position on that ball there. There was nothing Brown could do to get it ahead on the ball, so he just tried his luck with a little nudge. Good refereeing from Bidders. Lazanowski outnumbered. Well played, Slivkas. He's got Gus Cerro inside him. Blair will go all the way back to start again. And Keramidas is wide on the right. Now Hassel. Still going Hassel there, though. His first touch gave West Adelaide every opportunity to win possession. Still going Brad Hassel. Can he get the cross in? Good ball in too. I don't think Murray expected him to get that cross in, Brad Hassel. It was a terrific ball in. Murray a bit slow to take up his position on the near post. Strong challenge in behind there on Sakenis from Tobin. No free kick though. Mills back to hooker. West Adelaide have never actually won the NSL Cup before. Did make the final once though, back in 1981. It's 3-2 that day to Brisbane Lions, and it's a good shot, and just over the bar from Blair. He's limping after the challenge, but he still managed to get a cracking shot in. Good layoff from Brown. Blair skipped past Melter. That was the nick on his knee that caused him some problems, but that was the shot. And now West Adelaide come again with Sakenis. It's been West Adelaide's half here after a slow start. And Ray Blair has been the outstanding player on the pitch so far. That was the layoff from Brown. One touch from Blair. Cracks a shot in, and it didn't miss by too much. Redder. Oh, this is magnificent stuff from West Adelaide if they can keep this up, and that's a terrific ball from Cerro de Lazaridis. There must have been 7 or 8 passes there combining, and Lazaridis is forward, and a good challenge back from Sabatino. Did well to come back on Lazaridis then, but the build-up from West Adelaide was quite superb. At least half a dozen quick first-time passes there combining, and now West Adelaide come forward again. Cerro with the corner. Zabika stays on his line. Zakinis! What a save from Zabika off his left knee. He's so casual, Zabika, but his positioning was absolutely superb then. He's had a good first half. Melter clears for Adelaide City. Cerro went straight to the far post. Everybody left it. Zakinis, good volley. Zabika, good positioning. Zakinis and Tobin. Distinct height advantage there to the Socceroo. Cerro in well. West Adelaide really are hassling the Adelaide City defenders when they try to play the ball out, and it really has been West Adelaide's half. Robert Zabika has made 2 outstanding saves, the second from Jimmy Zakinis, but earlier he was off his line very quickly to thwart Ray Blair, who has been the man of the match in the first half for West Adelaide. Peter Blasinčić in the West Adelaide goal has also made 1 fine save from Damien Murray, so the goalkeepers the stars in the first half. Half-time here at Hindmarsh then is Adelaide City 0, West Adelaide 0. Joe Mullen has started the second half for Adelaide City. Milan Ivanovic, the clash with one of the West Adelaide players, too much for him. The blood was pouring out of the side of his head, and he will not start the second half. Sergio Melter will take Ivanovic's place at the heart of the Adelaide City defence. Mullen coming in on the left-hand side of midfield. Robert Zabika was certainly the busiest man in the first half for Adelaide City, producing 3 or 4 brilliant saves to thwart West Adelaide, as they really did have the better of the first half. Slivkas to Cerro. Cerro had a great first half, as did Ray Blair. There's Mullen's first touch. Brown, time to turn inside, goes back outside. Cerro's in there. Zakinis on the far post. Time for Jimmy Zakinis. His first touch was very good. He judged the cross to perfection, where some of the defenders didn't. Just didn't bounce down nicely for him to take that shot. Good recovery there from Sabatino. He looks very quick, Sabatino. Certainly plays somewhat confused in the centre of the field though, but Lazaridis has got some space. Melter's come all the way. And Lazaridis did well, and Melter brought him down. It looked like Melter had kept up with Lazaridis, but just that extra yard from the youngster, and Melter had to bring him down. That's where it was. He just skipped over the challenge, and he looked like he was going to stay on his feet. And Melter's name goes into the book. Adelaide City have got some defending to do. Cerro complaining the wall is not 10 yards, and it certainly doesn't look it either. Has to move back by the referee. Turning ball into the near post. Mullen clears. Baldy. Straight down the throat of Robbie Zabika, who'll come to claim it. And Ray Blair stands over him after the challenge. That won't bother Robbie Zabika at all, I wouldn't think. Adelaide City's turn now. Lozanowski, Cerro. Strong challenge there, too strong from Lazaridis. Lazaridis now goes into the book. And I think that would be a combination of several challenges that he's made today, Stan Lazaridis, rather than just that one by itself, though. The replay there, it certainly looked bad enough to justify a yellow card. The favourite for West Adelaide coming on now, Lemmy Vatsilas, comes on for Jimmy Tsakenis. Vatsilas playing up front, though. He really has made his mark as a midfielder over the years. Excellent passer of the ball, Vatsilas, very skillful player. Rain starts to come down again at Hindmarsh. Tobin comes forward. Vidmar's gone outside his man, and that's who he's looked for. It's a great run and a great ball. A good ball in too from Vidmar. No one on the near post though for Adelaide City. Sabatino, Lozanowski. Lozanowski still in possession. Good challenge from Tibaldi though. Tsakenis disappointed to come off. He's worked very hard the time he was on the field. Now Blanco deciding that he needs fresh face up front. Certainly someone who can perhaps produce some experience like Vatsilas, who tries a shot. And not a bad effort either for a man who really hasn't got into the pace of the game yet. You can see his intentions. Plenty of room there to have a shot. Tobin backed off him, and the far post was where he was aiming for. Flicked on by Hassel to Murray. He couldn't hang on to the ball though. Cerro so good at slowing things down for West Adelaide. Ball two. Tobin's come across. The long legs of Alex Tobin too much there. For Slivkas. Brown's in the middle. Cross wasn't ever going to reach him. Vatsilas. Scrambling and slipping away in the far corner there. Very difficult to come on as a substitute and get into the game, especially when the conditions are so tricky like they are today. Good ball. Good turn too from Hassel. Opening play up. Now Red is free on the right-hand side. Taladera. Hassel is the man up front. Murray's gone wide on the right. Faced by Tibaldi. It's an Adelaide throw. Lozanowski, foul throw there from Redder. Just hasn't been his day, Michael Redder. He's had a quiet game. He was booked in the first half for really an innocuous challenge. Now he's been penalised for a foul throw. The rain and the wind gathering momentum here at Hindmarsh. Some dedicated supporters from both sides here. 17 of Lozanowski, back to him. Lazaridis in very quickly though. Matsilla's pressurising Tobin. Comfortable header back to Zabika for Alex Tobin. Really, the conditions are really starting to play more of a part in this game here. It's getting more and more difficult to play the passing game. Now it's another booking for a West Adelaide player. Tabaldi this time goes into the book of referee John Biddis. Lozanowski it was who tried to trick him, and the challenge was just too strong there. And Lozanowski's in some pain. Tabaldi, 20 years old, promising youngster. Really broke into the West Adelaide side last year, looking to cement that left back spot for himself. Oh, terrible clearance from Blair. Tobin's in there. The overhead from Hindmarsh. Tobin in the back, free kick. Brown, high work rate for a striker. Defenders know when they're playing against Brown that they've got to watch their backs all the time. He's a hard-working player off the ball. Experienced player now as well. He's made 12 appearances for the Socceroos over the years. He's actually scored 1 goal. Good run from Lazaridis, going past 2, curling the ball in. Still not cleared. Ray Blair on the end of it. And Silas it was who was in the middle. Here he is again, and it's a corner to West Adelaide. That's the kind of things that Stan Lazaridis can open up. He goes on those surging runs from his. They're the men of the match in the first half. Winning the corner for West Adelaide. Lazaridis will take it. Mills is up for West Adelaide. Silas is in there. Cerro also. Adelaide City have Alex Tobin as main defender in these situations. It's Joe Mullen who did the job that on that occasion. Lazaridis, back to Slivkas. Good ball. Did well too, Keramidas. Another corner for West Adelaide. Starting to assert some authority again in the second half. They dominated the first half. Taken quickly. Adelaide City still organising themselves. Ball into the far post will be too far for Cerro. He'll do well to keep that in, but he does. Oh, that's brilliant play. And well played too from Vetsilas. Shot at goal, well held Zabika. But he expected Vetsilas to pull that back there. There didn't appear to be an angle for a shot. Though he took his chances. Cerro's improvisation started that off. Vetsilas used his body well. Biddis there to check that there was no infringement there. On the outside of the foot, and Zabika saved well. Doing well to keep that in, though he's got a lot of pace and he manages to hang on to it. Slivkas is back to challenge. Hindmarsh cuts in and tries a shot. A good save from Basincic. It would have just snuck in on the near post. And that was a surging run down the right-hand side from Vidmar, and that's what Eddie Thompson's looking for him to do for the Socceroos. Good stop from the West Adelaide keeper. As here's Vatsilas. Zabika out quickly. Serra. Brown started to go to the left and then check back inside. Again, Zabika called on to save Adelaide City. Produced 3 outstanding saves in the first half. One from Ray Blair, Gus Serra, and also another one from Jimmy Zakenis. He stopped. Good attempt at goal from Lemmy Vatsilas. Mullen slipping over. Wozinowski, he'll try a shot from there. Serra comes away from West Adelaide. Looks like they'll have to come back to start again. Robbie Hooker. Serra, he's got Lazaridis wide on the left, goes through the centre, good ball back, here's Gus Serra, and here's Ray Blair, and Zabika out again. And again the first touch of Ray Blair, just not quite being up to scratch. But full credit to Zabika, he anticipates those through moves so quickly, look how quick he's out there. And the challenge from Blair causing some problems with the Adelaide City defenders, though it was there to be had a go at. Now it's Adelaide City's turn. Carlo Taladera. Tobin's in there, poor free kick though. And everybody missed it. Throw into West Adelaide on the far side. Still no goals here at Hindmarsh Stadium, but it doesn't really tell the story of the chances that have been created in the game so far. Long ball. Sabatino, good job he was underneath that. Brown was behind him. And here's Slivkas, Brown. Vatsilas tries a shot, and it was a cracker as well. Straight into Sabatino. Vatsilas now. Ray Blair cuts inside. He's got Serra and Slivkas coming out to the left, though they go back out to Karamedas. Brown is in the centre. Ball comes in. Silas couldn't quite control it. Serra will always slow things down well. He's had a good game, Gus Serra. Certainly dictates things from the centre of midfield from West Adelaide. Has the ability to put his foot on the ball and slow things down. Shoulder of Serra, Redder. Karamidas looking long for Vatsilas. Conditions dominating things here at Hindmarsh. Wind really has picked up in the second half, making good football quite difficult. Slivkus, another free kick given away by him. He certainly gets through his fair share of challenges, George Slivkus. Down the line, good ball. Murray coming in across the goal, and it's gone in from Damien Murray. Out of nothing, really. And Damien Murray continues his scoring run. He really didn't have a lot on. Back to goal, defender behind him. Used his body well there, got past Baldy and curled the shot past Peter Brzezinski into the far side of the goal. Brilliant goal from Damien Murray. There, the angle, beautiful goal. And nothing that Brzezinski could do because it was just inside the far post. Keramedas, Blair down the line. Good ball in from Ray Blair. Brown's there, Greg Brown on the left foot. And blocked by Sabatino. What a game the youngsters had from right back. And Murray now running at defence. He's passed the ball again. Hassel's gone through. Murray trying to bulldoze his way through there. Oh, that's an over-aggressive challenge from Hooker. And there is no doubt that his name will go into the book. Lozanowski there, and that was well and truly late from Hooker. Lozanowski needing some treatment again. He's really his fair share today. Hooker can afford to smile. I think that's more frustration than anything else from Robbie Hooker. He's been pushing forward into the midfield in the last 10 minutes to try and provide some kind of impetus for his team to equalise. Ex-Sydney Olympic player. Zoran Matic makes a change. It's another youngster coming on, Jamie Carino. Coming on for Brad Hassel. So it's a 17-year-old coming on for a 19-year-old. And a big moment for Jamie Carino. Brad Hassel's had a high work rate. He's looked confident, but he has been short of opportunities today to show us what he can really do. Jamie Carino with a few minutes to make a mark on this game. Joe Mullen's been on since half-time. He hasn't had much opportunity to impart his experience out here today. Side's done enough though. They're leading 1-0. Damien Murray the scorer. Hindmarsh got Redder out wide. It's for Carino though, and he's given it away. Lazaridis hanging on too long. And again, Lozanowski's down. Redder for the ball inside to Taladera, and it's a brilliant ball from Carl. Taladera still going. Carino and Murray are supporting him. Carino with his first touch. Slivkus in too quickly for him. West Adelaide starting to look just a fraction tired there. Whistles from the crowd, letting us know that it's not too far away before John Bitters blows the final whistle. And here's Joe Mullen. Can he come up with something in the death? No free kick. Cerro now. Ray Blair's outside him. Here's Ray Blair. Slivkus. Lazaridis out wide. Again, Lazaridis comes inside. Good ball to Brown. If he can squeeze it back to Lazaridis, he could have been in there. But it was well defended by Sergio Malta. And Adelaide City have done enough to take the honours here today. It was Damien Murray's goal which really sealed victory for Adelaide City today. He had few and far chances between Murray, but he brilliantly cut inside his man and curled the ball into the far corner. At the other end for Adelaide City, Robbie Zabika, an absolutely outstanding game. Man of the match for his side, without a doubt. Looking forward to the challenge that comes later on this month against Argentina. He's in fine form for Australia and fine form for Adelaide City. Lazaridis had his chances, worked hard down the left, but it was all to no avail. West Adelaide had most of the play, but when it comes to finishing off the moves, just not quite enough to take the honours today. Final score then at Hindmarsh Stadium is Adelaide City 1, West Adelaide 0.